Hello students and welcome to another class of terpenoids. Today we will deal with a very important compound farnesol. We will discuss about its occurrence and uses, then the structure determination of farnesol using the chemical method of analysis, and then the synthesis which is the final proof of the structure determination, and finally the stereochemistry of farnesol. First of all, its occurrence and uses. Farnesol is a widely distributed acyclic sesquiterpene alcohol. As you can see the structure here, it is a 15 carbon chain consisting of 3 isolated double bonds and a primary alcoholic group is present. So it belongs to acyclic sesquiterpene, means 15 carbon atoms represents a class of compounds known as sesquiterpenoids. Important sources are essential oil of amaranth seeds, citronella, rose, acacia and balsam. It was the first sesquiterpenoid whose structural problem was solved, so it is very important from historical point of view. It is used in perfumery as it occurs in rose, acacia and balsam. And farnesol and its derivatives are important starting compounds for organic synthesis like squalene and phytol. Next we come to important point of structure determination of farnesol, which is based on chemical analysis, and the first step is the determination of molecular formula. It is done by elemental analysis, and empirical formula is determined using the chemical methods of analysis, and finally the molecular formula was derived as C15H26O. This molecular formula gives very important points about the structure of farnesol. First of all, you can see carbon 15 number, there is 15 number of carbon atoms. This means that it belongs to class sesquiterpenoid. And secondly, it contains 3 isoprene units. As you can see, C15, it means 3 isoprene units are joined head to tail according to special isoprene rule. And based on this chemical formula, the next point which is very important is the degree of unsaturation present in the farnesol. It is given by this formula on double bond equivalence given by x plus 1 minus y by 2. Substituting the values of x is equal to 15 and y is 26, we get dB equal to 3. This gives very important information about the structure. It means that either 3 double bonds are present in farnesol, or 3 rings are present, or a combination of both rings and double bonds are present. Next chemical analysis is based on this nature of unsaturation. On hydrogenation, it gives hexahydrofarnesol with a molecular formula C15H32O, and of bromination it gives hexabromofarnesol C15H26Br6O. This hydrogenation method gives very useful information about the structure of farnesol. As you can see, hexahydrofarnesol C15H32 and farnesol is C15H26. This hexahydrofarnesol was isolated and its molecular formula was determined using the chemical analysis, and it was given as C15H32O. Using simple mathematical calculation, we can see the difference between the two molecular formula is of 3 molecules of hydrogen or 6 hydrogen atoms. This gives information about the structure of farnesol, which shows that it contains 3 double bonds, which shows that it contains 3 double bonds. Now, what is the nature of these 3 double bonds? Are they isolated or conjugated? It is given by the UV spectroscopy. With the help of UV spectrum, we calculate the lambda max value, and it comes out to be 196 nanometer, which shows that the 3 double bonds present in farnesol is not conjugated in nature, they are isolated in nature. Because if they were conjugated, then the lambda max value should be above 200 nanometers. Thus, another important information which can be drawn is by taking the hydrocarbon. You can see the saturated hydrocarbon contains C15H32, and it corresponds to the for general formula CnH2n plus 2, which is determines the acyclic nature of acyclic structure. CnH2n plus 2 represents the acyclic structure. Thus, the farnesol is an acyclic sesquiterpenoid. Next, we come to the nature of oxygen atom which is present in farnesol. On oxidation with chromic acid, farnesol yields a very important compound farnesyl, which is an aldehyde with the formula C15H24O. This was isolated, and then its elemental analysis and molecular formula was determined, and it shows the presence of aldehydic group, which gives information about the nature of hydroxyl group in farnesol. This means the oxygen of farnesol is in the form of primary hydroxyl group, because if the hydroxyl group is primary in nature, then on oxidation it yields an aldehydic group. Thus, on the basis of up till now, we have come to the following conclusions. The molecular formula of farnesol is C15H26O. Its double bond equivalence is 3. It contains 3 double bonds, and 3 double bonds are isolated in nature, and it is an acyclic sesquiterpenoid and with a primary alcoholic group. Next, we have to determine the position of 3 double bonds and the position of hydroxyl group, which is done by the following sequence of reactions. Farnesol, when was subjected to oxidation, it yields farnesyl, which is an aldehyde, which on reaction with hydroxylamine and acetic anhydride, which undergoes dehydration, yielding a nitrile or a cyano compound. This is compound number 3, which on hydrolysis and protonation it gives farnesic acid. Along with this farnesic acid, this is compound 4, and it gives another compound 5 with the molecular formula C13H22O, which means that it contains 2 carbon atoms less than the third compound, which is nitrile. The formation of this compound, it was isolated and was undergo subsequent chemical reactions. It was found to be geranyl acetone, and the structure of this geranyl acetone was studied. Scientists were known about this structure, geranyl acetone. It was determined even before the structure of farnesol, and you can see the structure of this is the structure of geranyl acetone, which gives an important information about the structure 3. That means this structure 3 contains a nitrile group, which is alpha beta unsaturated nitrile group. This nitrile group, as it is alpha beta unsaturated, it undergoes retroaldol type condensation, yielding this geranyl acetone. Thus, this geranyl acetone, it is a key compound regarding the structure of farnesol, and the structure of farnesol can be explained with the help of this geranyl acetone. Now, next we come to the analysis or the structures which we have studied on the flow chart before. You can see this is the major clue is the structure 5, which is geranyl acetone. You can see here this is geranyl acetone, structure 5, and we can thus, based on this structure, we can just elucidate the structure of farnesol. It can be number 1. This is the probable structure of farnesol, which with the reactions can be explained by this structure, which on oxidation it gives farnesyl aldehyde, as you can see. This is the aldehyde, and then which this aldehyde on reaction with hydroxylamine and reaction with acetic anhydride, this carbonyl group is first converted into oxim, and which on dehydration yields nitrile. This is the compound nitrile. Compound 3rd, which we have seen earlier, which on hydrolysis, alkaline hydrolysis, it yields farnesic acid, This nitrile is converted into farnesic acid. Along with this, as you can see, this is an alpha beta unsaturated nitrile. It can undergo retro-aldol synthesis and yielding geranyl acetone. So this is the probable structure of farnesol, and this is the major clue, or the geranyl acetone is the clue, major compound from which this structure has been deduced. Another important evidence in favor of the structure of farnesol is the ozonolysis of farnesol, which is given. This is farnesol. On ozonolysis and subsequent treatment with methyl sulfide, as you know, ozonolysis yields to the conversion of this double bond into carbon oxygen bond. Three major compounds are obtained from this ozonolysis. As you can see here, ozonolysis, this double bond breaks, yielding acetone, a molecule of acetone, and from here this double bond is converted into oxygen, and here also this cleavage takes place, resulting in the formation of labyl aldehyde, and another compound, glycol aldehyde, is obtained from the cleavage of this double bond. Thus the three compounds, glycol aldehyde, acetone and labyl aldehyde, are obtained, which further gives evidence in favor of this structure of farnesol. Next, the final clue about the structure. Finally, the structure has been confirmed by the synthesis of farnesol. If we can synthesize this compound, then you know that the structure is correct, that we have determined here. The synthesis of farnesol is from two compounds, geranyl chloride containing 10 carbon atoms and ethyl acetoacetate containing 3 carbon atoms. That means 13 carbon atoms in this synthesis has been used here. In reaction with the sodium ethoxide, it forms a beta-keto ester, which on subsequent hydrolysis with barium hydroxide and HCl, it gives geranyl acetone. This geranyl acetone containing 13 carbon atoms is the starting compound for the synthesis of farnesol. It is treated with phosphorus pentachloride and lutein, yielding a gem dichloride. This lutein is a base, and it is 2,6-dimethylpyridine. In this, on treatment with this gem dichloride, on treatment with the sodamide and liquid ammonia, it undergoes double elimination, yielding this acetylite, compound acetylite with the formula C13H19 sodium, which on reaction with formaldehyde, this formaldehyde gives 13 carbon atoms have been used in geraniol. We need 2 more carbon atoms. 1 carbon comes from this formaldehyde. This reacts, sodium acetylite reacts with formaldehyde, yielding propargyl alcohol. This propargyl alcohol again reacts with lithium aluminum hydride in the presence of aluminum chloride and iodine. It forms vinyl iodide. This vinyl iodine, on reaction with lithium dimethyl cuprate, which is Gilman reagent, one methyl group is introduced in place of I, and we get farnesol. Thus, this is a very important synthesis. 10 carbon atoms comes from geraniol chloride, 3 from ethyl diacetoacetate, and 1 carbon from formaldehyde, and 1 carbon from this Gilman reagent, resulting in the formation of farnesol. Another synthesis of farnesol is given by this. Again, the starting compound is geraniol, which is formed from geranyl chloride and ethyl acetoacetate. On subsequent barium hydroxide hydrolysis and reaction with HCl, it is geranyl acetone. This geranyl acetone, on treatment with soda amide and acetylene, on subsequent hydrolysis, it converts into a tertiary alcohol, tertiary allylic alcohol, whose structure was found to be neralidol. This neralidol, on treatment in the presence of acid, it undergoes allylic rearrangement. As you can see, this tertiary, it undergoes allylic rearrangement in the presence of acid, yielding farnesol. Thus, the 10 carbon atoms come from geranyl chloride, 3 from ethyl acetoacetate, and 2 carbon atoms comes from acetylene in this synthesis. Last of all, we come to the stereochemistry of farnesol. As there are double bonds present in these, 4 geometric stereoisomers of farnesol are present. As you can see here, first is trans-trans farnesol. As you can see, this is a double bond. This configuration about this is trans, and here also it is trans. The second isomer is cis-cis farnesol. As you can see here, this is cis, or here it is cis form, and similarly cis-trans farnesol and trans-cis farnesol. So 4 geometrical stereoisomers of farnesol are possible. Thank you.